New week, same story. A Bears loss.
So much pain! So much pain!
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and I hate to be doing this again, but I am signing in for another reaction after yet another Bears close loss, 27-24 on the road against the Falcons, and it drops us to 3-8 on the year. I have so much to talk about this game, but before I do my reaction, make sure you guys leave this video a like, as it helps this channel to grow and it beats the algorithm. And if you are not subbed, go ahead, click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. But let's just talk about yet another Bears loss. Without further ado, let's dive into it.
Tinkleberg.
Well, I hate to do this after a loss. I hate to do this, but there's a lot that we got to talk about and a lot of things that I want to point out from this Bears-Falcons game. And one thing that stood out to me clearly is that this offensive line for the Chicago Bears still don't pass protect very well. Whether it's getting Fields knocked up with the blitz right away, whether it's the receivers not getting open, and that does lead to some sack numbers. It's just this offensive line has not been great as far as pass protection goes, and they add up 4 sacks in today's ball game versus a Falcons team that was one of the bottom ranked teams in getting after the quarterback, and this Bears offensive line still let up 4 sacks, and that gives Justin Fields body hit more, and we see that does take a toll, whether it's him running the football or whether it's him taking the hits in the pocket. That, as it reports right now, as me recording this video, Justin Fields has just been carted to the locker room with, I'm assuming, that shoulder injury that we've seen later on in the ball game. There were points during the game where he started to grab his hamstrings a little bit. So this Bears offensive line is going to get Justin Fields killed. It is not a very good offensive line as we speak right now. When we really think about it, this Bears offensive line is not, it hasn't been great all season, if you want to be honest, especially at the pass protection. And it's just mind-boggling that this team let up 4 sacks against a bad pass rush. And on top of that, another point that adds to the sack total is that the receivers are just not getting open. Now, whether it's the concepts, whether it's the talent that we have at the wide receiver position, you can see when you zoom out some of those plays that the receivers are just not open. And then it hurts that Justin Fields has pressure right in his face, and maybe they could have gotten open later or whatever. It's just the whole concept of this Bears passing game is still struggling. And it makes it even worse that this Atlanta Falcons defense was one of the bottom defenses in the NFL. This passing game still cannot be a bit of consistent, which is so many factors with the numbers. Whether it's Justin Fields has had tendencies to miss, especially when he missed on that Darnell Mooney deep ball. It's been the offensive line not really having great protection. It's been the wide receivers not really getting open. Even with the addition of Chase Claypool, we still haven't seen receivers get consistently open, and Chase Claypool, I think, still has to get more integrated into this offense, and which I pointed out in my video of the trading for Claypool is that it's going to take the team some time. It's going to take Getsy some time to learn how to use Claypool, and we've seen that with Justin Fields. It took time for Getsy to learn how to use Justin Fields in the best way to get the best out of them and be more successful for this offense. Now, the Bears running attack, I thought coming into this ball game was going to struggle a little bit without Khalil Herbert being in the game, which the yardage numbers did dipped from the usual 200 that we've been seeing the past couple of weeks, but the Bears still were able to run for 160 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, one by Fields and one by David Montgomery. So when you look at this Bears running attack, as far as the offensive line goes, it still has been blocking well in the run game. The receivers, especially Equinemi and St. Brown, who I think blocking is better than what he's ever done receiving the football, has been helping well with this Bears team. Running the football was something that they were going to still have to do. It's just that they became a little bit so more one-dimensional, especially with the passing game not being able to protect and get open. Now, special teams is something that can change games. And for the Bears, it changed in both swings, whether it was the fumble on the kick return that the Bears caused and ended up recovering, or the Bears letting up a kickoff return touchdown right after Justin Fields' rushing touchdown. From my standpoint, the Cordarrelle Patterson kickoff return touchdown, I think, swung the momentum from the Bears to the Falcons, not only in that moment. I think that moment was the game changer, especially looking how the rest of this ball game played out. That kickoff return gave the Falcons so much more momentum, as in they were able to get closer and make it a 3-point ball game. They got the ball back and were able to drive and kick a field goal to kick it a tie 17-17 ball game, heading it to the halftime point. And that was just one of the things that really, really changes games. And the Bears had it go both ways. It's just the wrong way ended up, I think, costing them a bit of this ball game. Now, one thing we can look and take some positives away from this ball game is the fact that Justin Fields' ability to make things happen is absolutely game changing, even though he's dealing with the injury, and we'll see whether that's going to be later on in the week. It's just the fact that the special teams means so much. Now, Cairo Santos, he did miss his first field goal of the season with the 56-yarder that was outside of his range, I believe. I think that was more of a conversation between the special teams coach and Matt Eberflus, and seeing how Santos warmed up, because I don't think that's a decision that Matt Eberflus is going to make just off the whim. He had to have some type of a feeling from the special teams coach, Armstrong, and he had to have some type of a feeling from Santos during warm-ups that he can make that field goal. Now, in that situation, the Falcons turn around and they make that drive and they get the game-winning field goal at that point. Now, me personally, I would have punted, but I do understand the decision to kick the field goal in that point, because points are at a premium, especially in a ball game that was a little bit low scoring in that second half, especially for the Bears. So I think you take the points at a premium, and I understand the decision. It's just me personally, I would have punted the football. Both defenses actually played a lot better. The Bears had 288 yards of total offense, and the Falcons had 280. So it wasn't like this game was an offensive explosion from either side. The Bears defense had some tendency to lapse at times, especially in the running game, with allowing 149 yards rushing. Even though the passing game for the Bears defense is still, I think, a good strength of theirs, with only letting up 131 yards. It's just that the Bears won a turnover battle and still lost the ball game. So I think the timing of the Bears turnover, which was the Justin Fields jump pass interception late in that drive, which I don't agree with the play calling at all. Later on in that drive, with the Bears having the potential to possibly win the game with 2 Justin Fields runs, and he's already been banged up. You already see him getting up slow. You had to call a timeout so Trevor Siemian won't be in the game, and that gives them that play that can leave Justin Fields in, and you still running the football with him instead of, you have to play the clock, you have to play the game to win and push the ball down the field. Now, we've seen struggles that the offensive line doesn't protect, and the receivers just aren't getting open, but you have to trust your play calling, you have to trust your team. You should have enough trust in them to at least get that job done, instead of trying to put the ball so much in Justin Fields' hands late in that ball game. And there is another thing that I do want to point out, is that this Bears defense just cannot get after the quarterback at all. Now, I will give Marcus Mariota some credit. He did escape some pressure with his legs. But the Bears had 0, and I count them, 0 sacks. When you're not getting after the quarterback, you're not creating changing plays, that gives the Falcons time to extend some of those drives because Mariota is escaping. He's able to get the ball away. He's able to throw the ball to open receivers because you're not giving him the threat of pressure. This Bears front four, I believe, is one of the worst, if not the worst front four that we have in the NFL, and it didn't help as far as the play on the field, the trading of Quinn and the trading of Roquan Smith. His Bears defense, albeit they have a very high-ranking pass defense, it's just the fact of, I think the back end of the defense has been playing some solid football. The front four has just not created any single bit of pressure, and it showed today. So this Bears team, now we all know they were in the kind of a rebuilding type of a year, and they were probably going to let go of some guys or things happening. It's just what we have right now. Can't get after the quarterback. You can't protect your own quarterback. Receivers just cannot get open, and it's still a point of emphasis at this point of the year, even with the trading for Chase Claypool. So it's just at this point with this Bears team, it is not something exciting to watch from some of the things that is going on. Even though they have been close in a lot of ball games, which I do give them credit for, they just haven't been able to pull them out late. And with a young rebuilding football team like the Bears have, you're probably going to lose some of those ball games right now. As angry as we all can be, as disappointed as we all are still, because we are diehard Bear fans and we want our team to win, it's just the fact that this team is still very young, it's still very inexperienced, and they're probably going to lose more games like this at this point right now than win them. It is going to be a wait and see with Justin Fields' injury and how serious is that going for, and we already had Kyler Gordon go out of the game with the concussion protocol. So not only is this Bears team lack of depth, they're thin, and they are also right now starting to get banged up, and especially with Justin Fields with his shoulder, and we started to grab at the hamstrings. So another disappointing loss, another nail-biting loss. The Bears lose 27-24 to drop to 3-8 on the year. But that is all I have to say about this game. Make sure you guys leave this video a like, as it always and continues to help this channel to grow, and it beats the algorithm. Make sure you guys comment your thoughts down below. What did you see from this ball game? What are the point of emphasis for you? What do you take away? I would love to see what you guys think, and I love you guys' input. And as always, click the sub button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos. But another sad APW Sports Saturday out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bear down. Peace.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.